Boy, Sugi, it's time for Cabernet Caturday! What's up, everybody? AJ and KT are back with another video, and today is a special edition Cabernet Caturday. And we have with us Spankly and Sugi Belugi, who you have seen before, and gonna start on a sad note, and that is originally our plan for Cabernet Caturday was to have our big boy Poe with us, who you have also seen before, and unfortunately in October he passed away, and so in his honor we are going to start the night by drinking a shot of poe-se Cuervo. We actually picked this bottle up the day after he died, and we took shots of it, and we haven't drank it since, but we figured it would be a good opportunity to tribute Poe Man, who is no longer with us. So we're going to be doing shots of poe-se Cuervo, and then we're going to be drinking this. You want to tell them about our Cabernet?
Yeah, let's see it, because I feel like we clearly wanted to have Cabernet, but also Caturday. So we found this one with this lion on it. I think it's called Juggernaut Hillside Cabernet. The lion kind of looks like he's got like teal lipstick and nail polish kind of. So that's cool looking. I like the color combos there.
So we got this throne for the kitties because we thought it would help prop them up so that they could be seen better on the couch. And for that, I made them little crowns. Sugi on her throne. Look at that. Should we pour shots?
Yes.
Of poe-se Cuervo? And Marty, can you throw up the close-up of the poe-se Cuervo for me? So yeah, there is the poe-se Cuervo bottle.
So yeah, we got poe-se Cuervo.
To our big boy Poe. Couldn't be here on Cabernet Caturday, but he was with us in spirit.
Better shots. Our polite, sweet po' boy.
He was a very polite man.
Tap gently on your leg, asking for pets.
Except when I put the water down before the food, and he'd slap my hand. He stopped doing that once he was about like 10.
It was really funny.
But he'd slap me in the hand when he was younger. He's actually brother and sisters. The kitties are all from one litter. We got them in 2008, and when they were just like 4 weeks old. Actually, Marty, can you throw up the video of the coconuts? So there were 5 coconuts, and they're all here. There's Mignon and Sug, and then Poe, but also there's Chewbacca and Dino Man. They're here as well. When Katie and I got married, we took 3 of the 5. They were my coconuts, and are my coconuts. We spent a lot of time watching The Lion King together. That's where that came from. And Blanket and Sugi, they're the ones we got now. And they're with us here on Cabernet Caturday, and they are 15 years old, going on 16 next spring. So,
Sweet babies.
yeah, sweet babies.
On the throne.
On the throne,
Hopefully
yes.
Blanket gets a turn.
Hopefully Blanket gets a turn. Sugi
So-
cast off her crown in fury.
She cast it away. We have quite the lineup.
We have quite the lineup, folks. We are doing our Game of the Year list for 2022. We're doing E3 2023, and a very special event. We are finally getting to the decade from 2011 to 2020. Now, about 3/4 of, Americans actually don't believe that that's a decade, and then the other quarter believe that's the decade, so it's kind of split by about 25% and 75%. All it takes is for you to think about that there is no year 0. And then you can just understand that it goes until 10. So it seems weird and it doesn't fit all nice and numerically like people like, but fact of the matter is, the decade was 2011 until 2020. So the 20s didn't begin until January 1st, 2021. So our games of the decade, we're doing top 10 from 2011 to 2020.
Wow. All right. So it's going to be a 3-parter.
So first, we are doing 2022 Game of the Year. And we're going to do what we've done in the past this time, where we do our 6 through 10 a little quicker and talk a little more about our 1 through 5. Sound good?
Yeah.
We have our Pokemon 25th Anniversary Cups.
So cute.
Pokemon Mom, da-na-na-na-na-na. Come on, Spankly, join the party, baby. Cabernet Caturday, look at Sugi. I think she's mad that Sugi has the throne.
I know.
Game of Thrones, dude.
So I'm going to crack this.
Meep.
Are you supposed to drink tequila before wine?
Tequila before wine, you're doing fine. Wine before tequila, you're gonna be squeala.
Cabernet Caturday. We've got both kitties up here.
Double throne occupation.
Suki, scoot over. Scoot over, baby. You're taking up all the room.
You ready to try the wine?
I'm ready to try the wine. We are not red wine people, typically.
I used to only drink Cabernet. I think I've said that to them before.
I know, I think you have. Cheers.
Cheers, darling. Juggernaut Cabernet.
Also to Po' Boy.
Also to Po' Boy.
Always to Po' Boy.
Always to Po' Boy.
Love Po' Boy forever.
Cabernet Caturday, dedicated to Po' Boy. Alright.
Yeah.
It's not Chardonnay.
It is velvety though.
It
We're
is.
joking.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a blanket's in your mouth.
Like if we ate the throne.
If we ate the throne. The velvety throne. Something maybe we should have said at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. Spoiler warning. Spoilers, as usual. I don't think it needs to be said for Game of the Year list, but I just want to say it because we are talking about these games in detail, so yeah.
Good call.
Are you ready to start talking Game of the Year 2022?
I think I'm ready.
Video games, people.
I'm nervous.
I have an honorable mention.
Already?
Number 11, I just want to mention The Chant. It's a good game, The Chant. Number 11. Alright, top 10.
Your honorable mention is my number 10. I chose The Chant as my number 10.
Alright.
I thought The Chant was such a fun surprise. And it was scary, but just kind of like sci-fi fun game with interesting gameplay and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah,
That was my number 10.
I agree. Really good surprise, fun game.
Mm-hmm.
My number 10, another one of those good surprises, Death's Door. So you get to play as a little bird boy and you're going around reaping souls, and it's fun combat, really good soundtrack, cute graphics, and fun gameplay. Mm-hmm. I played it for a long time. I almost 100%ed it, and then I ended up moving on to something else. But I'm at like 99 point something. But played it for a long time. Really enjoyed it. Number 10.
That was one that they said was like, a little bit like Zelda, and so of course like a top-down Zelda. It like scratches a Zelda itch or something.
A little bit.
You ready for number 9?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna say my number 9, but I don't want to talk too much about it because my number 9 is Madison, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's all we're gonna say. My number 9 is Ooblets. And I'm not going to say much about it.
My number 8 was Death's Door.
Okay, so we already talked about Death's Door. My number 8 is Stray.
Oh.
Here on Cabernet Caturday. And it is hard to put a game where you are a kitty cat so low on my list for Game of the Year. I love playing around as the kitty though, and there were some really fun kind of mechanics that were put into the game since you're a cat, and I enjoyed it. got the platinum.
Well, that happened to be my number 7. So, there you go.
Stray, ladies and gents. So now my number 7 is The Quarry. Another one that's hard to put this low on the list. We loved The Quarry. That was another game that we platinumed, and we played it a lot in order to platinum it.
Just to say, The Quarry was my number 6.
So The Quarry didn't make either of our top 5, but we loved The Quarry. Like, we really loved The Quarry. It's one of those games that's like Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures anthology games. And I mean, I feel like what they did with Until Dawn, they just like took it and turned it up even more. Until Dawn was awesome, and The Quarry was even better, in our opinion. I mean, you too, right?
I do. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely recommend playing The Quarry.
Oh, yeah.
So now my number 6 is Pokemon Scarlet/Violet. Left it out of my top 5, but not by much. New generation of Pokemon, Gen 9, baby. And, you know, Katie and I love to feed our Miraidon and Koraidon those Sawish. It was a really fun Pokemon game. It had its, you know, technical difficulties, but it still got number 6 on my list for Game of the Year 2022. Here we are in top 5. So now's when things get serious, you could say.
So serious.
What is your number 5 game of 2022, my b-boy?
My number 5 game of 2022 is Ooblets. I had so much fun with Ooblets.
Didn't expect it.
Yeah, didn't expect it. They said it was going to be like Pokemon Animal Crossing Harvest Moon, I think,
Yeah.
and I was just like, well, we'll see about that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I didn't believe them that it was going to be that good. And
Yeah.
it turned out to be extremely fun and extremely intoxicating. I don't know. I put so much time into it, and I had so much fun trying to get all the gleamies and, you know, upgrading my farm and everything. It was so fun.
Yeah, and I had so much fun watching her. I actually didn't even play Ooblets. I think you let me play for like 5 minutes one time. Not that you didn't let me play, but I basically just watched you, and I really enjoyed it too. It was just, it had a lot of character. It was a fun, silly game, and it was surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. So that's your number 5?
Yep.
My number 5 is another, you know, I feel like there's a lot like this on our lists this year for 2022. My number 5, Song of Horror, which came out physically in 2022. You all know my rules by now. Came out physically in 2022, so to me, Song of Horror is a 2022 game. It employed a system of semi-permadeath that really made the game extra scary. Games don't really scare me, and I'm always searching for a game that scares me because I like being scared. I mean, I think that that's what horror fans want, you know? We want to feel afraid, and and so it did a good job of scaring me because it was like creepy. The atmospheric type of, you know, vibes that they sent out were pretty spooky, but really the threat of getting a game over due to permadeath was really horrifying to me. And that was really what made me put it in my top 5. That's what had it beat out all the other games up to this point, was how edge of my seat I was while I was playing this game. It wasn't the scariest video game I've ever played. It wasn't the best, you know, mechanically video game I've ever played, but it really, you know, made me feel anxious and scared while I was playing the game. And I have seen a lot of people complain about the kind of random nature. Like, there's ways that you can die that kind of seem unfair, but I think that they threw those in there because they're like, if someone's playing too careful, it's not gonna, the permadeath's not gonna really feel scary. And so there's some random things that happen to you, and then one of your characters might die, and you're like, all right, you know, and
Yeah.
it might feel frustrating, but that is what makes it feel scary. Other times you just die not for a random reason, though. I understand the complaints, and I can see the people's points, but overall, I like the game, I like what they did with it, and it's my number 5 game of 2022.
Nice. I feel like it kind of does the same thing that Until Dawn does, that it's like they want you to feel like you're like playing a horror movie, and it's like life. It's like you are not going to know the consequences of every choice, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, so where do you choose to hide?
Yes.
You might get caught, you know, like whatever the thing may be.
That's a really good point.
So it's like, it's interesting, and it makes it spooky.
Yeah.
Realistic, kind of.
Yeah.
Alright, so my number 4, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, ranked number 4 for me. I just love Pokemon. I don't know what to say. That's it. I thought it was fun. And the open world was pretty crazy. I mean, revolutionary for a mainline Pokemon game. Something they'd never done before, that you get to go to any gym that you want to, any city that you want to for your first, second, third, fourth, whatever you want. You can just go where it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked that too. I really liked how they just kind of unlocked the difficulty, really, because it made it more difficult. The fact that you could go up the snowy mountain, if you watched our last card opening video, if you go up the mountain earlier than you're quote-unquote supposed to, the game's going to get a lot more difficult than it would for somebody who goes there near the, end of the game for them. And I like difficulty in video games, and that is something with the mainline Pokemon games that I've personally just had minor gripes with over the years, is that they've gotten a lot easier than they were when I was a kid. This one, because of, just being able to go wherever you want on the map, whenever you want, kind of allowed you to experience more difficulty without having to, Nuzlocke yourself or something, of course. But it let you experience more difficulty at, points in the game. And I really liked that. So,
yeah.
Very good number 4, B-Boy.
Thank you, B-Boy.
It was hard for me to keep it out of my top 5.
Oh, miss you.
Oh, Mankey! Alright, you ready for my number 4?
I'm ready for your number 4.
My number 4 is also a Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, or, as Katie and I like to say, Arceus, but whatever. Pokemon Legends Arceus, oh my gosh, this game was an early favorite for me to be Game of the Year. There were still some big releases coming, but, in the spring of 2022, I was like, this might be my Game of the Year. Pokemon Legends Arceus, so good, and I loved everything about it. It had me just going out and catching Pokemon like crazy. I feel like the way that you could go out there and just chuck Pokeballs and just catch. Shiny hunting was so much fun. Trying to sneak up on super strong Pokemon and throw heavy balls at them was super fun. It was great. It was a great game. Oof, it makes me just want to start it over and just play it again. Pokemon Legends Arceus, one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Period. And that's why it's hard for it to be number 4 on my list for Game of the Year for 2022, because it's it's one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time, yet it's only my number 4 game of 2022, so it's I wish this had ended up higher. It was a really strong year. We got some really strong ones for me ahead of this one. So, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Ranking in at number 3 for me is God of War Ragnarok.
Number 3. Can I just say really quick that that's my number 3? God of War Ragnarok. Just so we can talk about it at the same time, B-Boy.
Wow. Both our number 3? That's awesome.
God of War Ragnarok. So God of War 2018 was both of our Game of the Year in 2018. This one, still a really great game.
Still really, incredible.
Get to continue on your post-Greek Kratos God of War journey.
Yep.
And continue to see Atreus grow. And, there were some great characters, as usual. These games always have great characters, great gameplay.
Amazing storytelling, well worth playing.
Yeah.
At number 2, I have Pokemon Legends Arceus, whichever you prefer. Shelter. Popping out.
Do you know why I have Shelter as my pocket square?
Why? I've been had. Saboteurs.
Check the pocket square.
Should have checked the pocket square. That was my bad.
Pocket square.
I deserved it.
R.I.P. boy, tell me about Pokemon Legends Arceus, Arceus, Arceus.
It was revolutionary. I mean, everything was so different, but so, like, it was still, like, comfy, like, Pokemon game. I loved it. I loved all of it. It felt so weird at first, just because I was like, you just throw Pokeballs at them? Like, that just feels funny, but, you know, it worked, and it was so fun to go on these expeditions and just, like, catch a bunch of Pokemon and bring them all back, and it's, like, it's very different.
Spankly jumps up here. We got both of them.
Wow. So cute. She's like, I'm not in the throne. Quit it. Please.
Spankly's wearing the crown.
Wow.
Wow. There it goes. So, Spankly jumped up here, but you were in the middle of your number 2 game of 2022.
Getting to run around in the beautiful lands that they created for us. And getting to just see the Pokemon running around in the world. I feel like it was such a perfect Pokemon evolution. And I think that's all I have to say.
Alright?
Very fun. Go play it.
Go play it. It was one of my favorite Pokemon games, or it was my favorite Pokemon game in a very long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was hard for me to put it at 4. So now it's time for my number 2, though, which, wow. This game, like, super duper surprise, man. Super duper surprise. Number 2 of 2022 for me was already on Katie's list. Madison. Wow. Madison. Like, this game, I was just talking about Song of Horror and how horror fans are always looking for ways to be afraid. Madison was probably, I think I would say, the scariest game I've ever played. And it wasn't because of permadeath. It wasn't because, you know, of anything like that. If you die, it just loads. There's not really a punishment. But the atmosphere and the sounds that they incorporated into this game were, like, so perfect. And just, like, hit me in all the right spots. I had such a blast being scared playing this game. Like, I wanted to be afraid. Like, that was what was cool, was that the game, like, invited you to be afraid. Like, it was very, very good at making you want to feel what they were wanting you to feel. And I feel like, I think that's a problem with horror a lot of times, is like, they're like introducing something, they're you know, showing you something, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's weird or freaky. But it's like with Madison, they're being like, hey, this is what's happening. And they do such a good job of making you feel the burn. And, and I mean, I just had such a blast. I wanted to scream when I felt even a little jumpy, because it was just fun. It was fun horror. Such a great game. I platinumed it too. I mean, I platinumed a lot of the games. Oh.
She's fanning out a little bit.
I platinumed a lot of the games on my list, actually. I platinumed God of War Ragnarok as well. But with Madison, I honestly wanted to play it even more after platinum. You know, a lot of times it's like you get to the point where it's like, okay, I need a platinum. Okay, I have a little bit more I need to do. With this game, it was like, okay, I did that, but I want to keep playing it. I'm not done. And I loved Madison so much. What a spooky, creepy game. It was a surprise number 2 for me, but it was number 2 nonetheless.
And I put it on my list, not because I played it, but solely because I so enjoyed watching you play it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fun seeing you know, actually, like, be scared and, like, jumping. Like, you know, like, obviously, horror games will throw in, like, jump scares. It's easy, you know what I mean? It's, like, an easy thing to just be like, bah! And, like, everybody's gonna have, like, an automatic, like, jump reaction. So, like, that's happened before. But this one was, like, different. People who enjoy horror, anything, you know, like movies or games or just stories or whatever, you're looking for the thrill.
Yeah.
You're seeking the thrill of the horror tale of whatever you're experiencing. So, anyway, I just felt like that was cool. That was a cool game. It was spooky.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So we're at number 1, and when we say we're at number 1, we're at like one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yeah.
Katie and I share number 1 this year, which happens a lot. Not every year, but it happens a lot. And it's a big surprise. Surprise. You want to say it? Should we both say it?
Yeah.
Our number 1 game of 2022 is Elden Ring. Play Elden Ring. It's one of the greatest video games of all time. Elden Ring is absolutely incredible. Now, here's the thing. We spent years, Katie and myself, we spent years with Katie just watching me play FromSoft games. And it's like, oh wow, AJ's playing a really hard game. That's a hard game, you know. Not for me. With Elden Ring, I played it. And yeah, it's a really hard game. But Katie watched me play it. And she's like, I think I want to play Elden Ring. I was like, dude, I want you to play Elden Ring. That sounds amazing to watch you play this game. But let me tell you, there's going to be some hurdles that I don't know if you can get past.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, again, spoilers. We're talking Fire Giant. We're talking Malekith. We're talking just the end boss, Radagon / Elden Beast. There were so many things I was like, I don't know if she's going to be able to get past that. Really starting with the Fire Giant. Mm-hmm. And every time that she got to one of these points, she was able to overcome the thing that I thought was going to keep her from advancing. Until she finally beat the game, and I was just like, wow, this is so cool. Katie beat a FromSoft game, and I mean, we just loved Elden Ring, dude.
Yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous world. Amazing, like, leveling up and just RPG elements. Choosing your build. Just, like, what direction you're gonna go. And, like, using all your, like, armor and all your weaponry and stuff.
And?
To conduct yourself in the way, you know, that you're gonna succeed. It's so cool.
Spirit Ashes.
Oh, Spirit Ashes were so fun, too.
The storytelling was so good. At first, honestly, we thought bringing on George R.R. Martin was kind of like gimmicky.
Almost.
Yeah, and it turned out to be really awesome. I mean, the lore was... The lore is always there with FromSoft games, like if you dig deep enough, but like there was some really good lore, some really good like family tree drama type of stuff. The bosses were great. Like you said everything already so well, but the world was just so expansive and so fun to explore, and just when you think you had figured it out, there was some other crazy thing that you found that just leads to like an entirely new area.
Yeah.
And I mean... Man, we are so psyched for the DLC. Like,
yeah.
I don't get excited for DLC very often. There are only a handful of games all time, really, that I've been like, yeah, the DLC's coming. Because normally I'm pretty cynical about it. It's like, give me the game and that's it. With Elden Ring, I'm so excited to find out, like, what's the deal with Melania's brother in the like egg, you know, like Mog, like took him as like dude, like, there's some weird stuff. We're excited to find out. And yeah.
Yeah. Beating bosses is so, like, obviously rewarding in so many ways. Achieving and overcoming, like, such a struggle. Like, it's like there's obvious rewards there. But it's like even just exploring in the world is so rewarding. The world itself aids in the storytelling. Like, it was so cool. It's such a cool game.
Yeah.
Such a cool game. The lore and just, yeah, every part of it is so amazing. I mean, It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's glorious, really.
Yeah, it's glorious. I beat it, then Katie beat it, then I beat it again. We got the platinum together. Platinuming a game together was so much fun. And like a game like this, it has really shaped my gaming just paradigm. And it's going to be one of my greatest games of all time, probably until I die. And, you know, beyond whatever happens then, you know, I'm always going to be remembering Elden Ring. And, you know, FromSoft have been doing it for a long time, and there have been some great games, and also some not some good games, but other people might think great, but I'm not as big a fan of Sekiro. But
he didn't like Sekiro.
Elden Ring is like really, I feel like, you know, the like magnum opus of Miyazaki. Like, I feel like it is so perfect. Like, it is a perfect video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there with one of the greatest games of all time.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Is there anything else we need to say about that?
Oh, the only other thing I have to say is so much wheat.
So much wheat.
We call small, kind creatures wheat versus chaff. Chaff is like, evil crows that attack you that you're supposed to kill. It's like wheat is just like benevolent creatures in the wild, basically.
Yes.
So much wheat, guys. And
so much
it's
wheat.
so cute. Loved the turtles.
Yeah.
I mean, we loved all of the wheat, all of the b-boys, all of the cute little creatures.
Yes.
It was such a beautiful blend of so hard and grueling and cruel. But then, like, the world is just so, like, beautiful. And there's, like, all these cute creatures, It's a great blend.
Yeah. Elden Ring, baby.
We could make favorites of all time at any point, and that would be there.
It would be there.
It would be there. I'm sure of it, for both of us.
Yeah.
Because we had such a blast playing it.
Yep.
Highly recommend. Very difficult, but very fun.
Yeah. If you can get past the difficulty, it is extremely rewarding and worth it. I don't know where it would place in my greatest games of all time,
Yeah.
but it would be in my top 10.
I think so too. Definitely, actually.
And we're talking about some pretty heavy hitters. We're talking about Ocarina of Time.
Shh, spoilers.
Sorry. We're talking about some really good games. Elden Ring, though. Yeah.
Spoilers for our own future video.
Yeah. So I did want to note a game I did not play from 2022, and I feel like it's a gaming sin that I didn't play this game. I haven't yet played Horizon 2 Forbidden West. I haven't played it yet, and I love Horizon Zero Dawn, so I know I'm going to love this game, and I just wanted to note it because it's not on my top 10 games of 2022 list, and it probably would be if I had played it by now.
There are other games, but that one is, I feel like, the highlight of the unplayed, likely to make the list games.
Yes, absolutely. We also wanted to quickly recap our top 10 games of 2022. B-Boy, you want to go first?
Sure. So my top 10 games, starting from 10, going up, is The Chant, Madison, Death's Door, Stray, The Quarry, Ooblets, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, God of War Ragnarok, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Elden Ring.
Alright. And my number 10 through 1, starting with number 10, Death's Door, Ooblets, Stray, The Quarry, Pokemon Scarlet/Violet, Song of Horror, Pokemon Legends Arceus, God of War Ragnarok, Madison, and Elden Ring.
Wow. Very similar lists, as usual.
So I gotta just kind of break the ice.
What?
I gotta break the ice. I have something else in my pocket square. It's not just shoulder.
Did you know about this?
Kitties, it's story time, babies. Daddy's got a book.
No.
It's story time.
No. We're not doing this.
It's
We're not
story
doing this.
Ugh, folks.
We're not doing story time. Do you need me? I'm gonna set it on fire.
So,
And cut it up.
with my Madison game, we luckily got this little book from the game, Blue Knees, and I'm just gonna show the story time really quick here, everybody. It's story time, kitties. Sugi, Mankey, it's story time.
Oh, sorry, I'm taking
B-Boy,
pictures.
it's story time. Alright, so Blue Knees, everybody. So this is from Madison, my number 2 game of 2022. A long time ago, there was a creature whose name was unknown. Here he is. It had always lived alone and was often seen on its own. Oh no, Blue Knees is sad. I mean, who is this? Alright. One freezing frosty night, it began to feel so very somber that it fell into a 2 days slumber. Oh no. By the third day, it woke up in blackness with an illness so serious that both its eyes had vanished in the darkness. Holy shit. Its eyes popped out. The creature creeped out of the bed and started crawling, looking for the eyes he knew for sure were rolling. Rolling along. It slithered and rolled, so its knees turned blue and sore, since its eyes popped and tumbled, both of them as dust crumbled. It is to this day that it does not have a clue, but that is no excuse to end the pursuit. Ooh. Got some eyeballs. There they are. Not dust, I guess. Now beware those fleeting eyes, and make sure to turn on the lights, for your own sight is at stake if you cannot escape. And that's it. Secret message at the end. You don't get to know that unless you get to unless you could read it really fast. That's it. Blue knees, everybody. That's it. Story time with the B-Boys. Buy it at a bookstore in the children's section near you.
Cheers.
Cheers to Blue knees.
No.
And
no.
Po' Boy.
No.
Both package.
Just Po' Boy.
Package deal. Just
Po' Boy and to the video games of 2022.
The video games of 2022, baby.
Quite the funsies.
Quite the funsies. And now we are going to cut. We are going to move on to part 2. If you want to join us, soon enough we will be posting. But part 2 of Cabernet Caturday, E3 2023, baby. So we are AJ and KT with AJ and KT Gaming, and those are our games of the year 2022, and we will be back shortly. Make sure and tune in for E3 2023.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later. Are you on the move?
Mm-hmm.
She's on the move.
On the move, moving right along like it's the turn of the century. As you move.
She's like, Mama, why'd you sweep up all the spider webs?
And I swear that my Sugi has a gun. Spanky. Want to come claim the fuzzy throne?